Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going In Raw podcast. Joey Janela always goes in.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going In Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Steve and Larson's Going In Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Also available wherever podcasts can be found and taped live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Before we get started, I learned about this new podcast that I wanted to give a quick shout out to, Larson. It's called That's Not Scary. And it's two people who are highly... Please let me finish. I'm trying to give...
If you want to plug your podcast...
I'm trying to pay it forward.
If you want to plug your podcast, just plug your podcast. Don't do this thing while I discovered a new podcast.
I don't know about this my podcast thing. It's two people. Yes, one of the guys is named Steve. The other's named Lacey. Coincidental, maybe, maybe not. And they're wildly charismatic, and they read ghost stories, some of which, most of them are submitted by their listeners, and they're wildly charismatic, and they're so funny, and they're great. It's called That's Not Scary. You can get it wherever audio podcasts are, or at youtube.com/That's Not Scary.
Plug in your show and then put yourself over.
My show? I wish I had a cool ghost podcast, Larson. Anyways, AEW tonight. Will Hobbs. Oh, that Will Hobbs. I thought I recognized back in 2013 when I went to the SPW show here in town. I saw that guy and I was like, he's a good guy, but I don't know. One day he's going to turn on Cody Rhodes and a young kid named Darby Allin and join Team Taz. And that's what happened tonight at the end of Dynamite.
Let me ask you something. You remember this, and I don't know the answer, so that's why I'm asking. Do you remember Body Guy Crew from SPW?
Yes, I do. I don't think he was part of them, if that was your question.
I couldn't remember if he was in that faction or had a match against that faction.
He was there. No, I'll have to look. I'll look at the footage and get back to you because I have it.
Okay.
And I just saw it the other day. I was like, oh, that's Will Hobbs. He was a lot leaner back then.
Yeah.
He hossed up quite a bit. I really liked that swerve tonight. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, same here.
I also liked what we saw from, and yes, I know it sort of is focusing around a prominent figure in the NWA women's division. Nonetheless, we got some good women's division action, a match set up for next week for the women's champion. And I like that too. I like Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. That's going to be a money feud, man. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
that'll be great. The women's match was awesome.
It was my highlight.
That was fantastic.
It was by far my highlight of the night, man. Thunder Rosa is absolutely great. Serena Deeb, really, really fantastic match between those two.
I'm looking at right now. Body Guy Crew's Facebook page.
They have a Facebook? That's not shocking. They're still around? Do they still do stuff?
No, I mean, like the last post was in 2017, which is probably why I can't remember who was actually in the faction.
Yeah, it was a long time ago that we went to go see that match.
Yeah.
It was probably like 2013, 14 or so, something like that. Back then, Will Hobbs went by Will Rood, R-O-O-D.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
He had like a colorful sort of faux hawk thing going on. But Hip Hop Hippo here in the chat has it exactly right. I don't know exactly what it is, but Thunder Rosa absolutely has it.
Oh, heck yeah,
it's crazy. When did she even start wrestling? Was it like only 5 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, like 5 years ago. Wasn't that
what was in the water 5 years ago? Because MJF started 5 years ago. Yeah, her debut was didn't say there. Her debut was 2014. That's crazy. Her like in-ring character work is so good, and just her in-ring work is so good.
All right, I'm going to say one more body Guy Crew reference here. So I found this picture from 2017, and it's got Braddock, Jeff Cobb, J.R. Kratos, and one half of Reno Scum, all doing like the Young Bucks pose.
Were they all part of the Body Guy Crew?
Not that I recall, no.
Yeah, I don't remember them being in it, but that's hilarious.
No Will Hobbs there, though, so he must have been taking on Body Guy Crew because he was involved in that, I thought, somehow, in that match.
You might be right. The Body Guy Crew, they were all over that place that night. And then I think we didn't go to... Wasn't that the Bring Your Weapons night?
No, that was a different time.
Is that a different time?
It's saying that Adam Thornstone, who's one half of Reno Scum, was in Body Guy Crew.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was.
Man, now I'm about to do a deep dive into Body Guy Crew.
Hey, man, this isn't a Body Guy Crew podcast. We got to talk about AEW tonight.
All right, you want to talk about local Sacramento wrestling?
I mean, I do at this point. I mean, I'd rather talk about that than Raw on every Monday night.
Yeah, just about.
I'll reminisce about SPW and Action Coast Empire. I'll reminisce about that stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I felt like Dynamite tonight, as several instances, was like there was like some missed opportunities. Like, there could have been some really fun stuff. Oh, like the opening match was really good. Top Flight versus Young Bucks was really good. Like how the Kenny Mox contract signing went down.
That was weird.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like there could have been a really good opportunity for something cool to happen. Let's
talk about that really quick because December 2nd has its theme, and it's just a ripoff of Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. So that's going to be December 2nd. They're billing it appropriately, the biggest match in the history of Dynamite. So that's
and they're also saying that the whole card's going to be stacked.
Yes, they're treating it like
what JR was saying throughout the night, yes.
Yeah. With Moxley having been laid out by somebody, probably the cleaner. Mm-hmm. What do you make of that? Like, is there? Because at first I was like, wait, are they writing him out or something? But no, that doesn't make any sense. They're going to have this giant match on December 2nd, so that's not going to happen. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you make of that? Is this going to be? They're going to have some security footage of Kenny beating him up or something?
I don't know. All the options I could think of don't sound that like intriguing, you know. I mean, is the idea is like when Mox attacked Omega, he stepped right up to him and punched him in the face, and Kenny's gonna kind of be the coward and attack him from behind and lay him out.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I don't know why they would have done this, but I mean, I don't know. It saved some time. I thought Kenny's reaction to it was pretty funny. Like, okay, we could have had just like a standard contract signing where Mox gets on the mic and he just improvs a lot and he talks really fast like this, spits in everybody's face. I kind of appreciate that tonight he didn't show up. He was laid out. And then Kenny says, I don't know much about all these psychology games, but I'm here. I'm signing the contract, and that's it. So, yeah, it was kind of a fart, but whatever. Let's just hop right into it because we can talk about Top Flight.
Man, they were really good.
Yeah, they were solid. They were really good. I mean, they remind me of Private Party when they first started out in AEW. Is that you can tell there's a couple jitters. You can tell they're a little green. But, man, the potential is there for something really great. And they had some very creative, if not the most crisp offense. You have to appreciate the creativity they were trying to bring to the match.
Well, they're, 21 and 19?
19, yeah.
They're insanely new to the wrestling business.
One of them dudes was in high school literally like a year or two ago.
And they were trained by Mr. Anderson and, what was the other name?
Eric Cannon.
Molly Holly.
Molly Holly, yeah. No, they were really fun. They were great. I mean, it's funny because they're probably going to hit their peak in like 15 years. Mm-hmm. Because that's kind of how it works these days. How old are the Young Bucks? Young Bucks, what, mid-30s probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so, yeah.
But, so they got it was basically a showcase match for them that kicked things off. They got to get their offense in fairly early, flustering the Young Bucks, if you will. Eventually, the Young Bucks take over. Top Flight get a couple of near calls, but one BTE trigger on Dante gets the win for the Young Bucks. They put them away, and then right afterwards, the Hybrid 2 attack. Or was it just one guy, or was it both guys in Hybrid 2?
It was both of them. It was both Angelico and Jack Evans.
I saw Jack Evans at first. And so they attack Top Flight after the match. Young Bucks run them off. So, yeah, that's cool. That's cool stuff. I was reading up a little bit on Top Flight. Apparently they just sent like a tape I don't know if it's a literal tape when they say
Well,
tape.
in the video package before the match, that's what they mentioned. Is one of them said, "Yeah, I just tweeted Matt Jackson. I assume with like they're real."
Oh, okay.
And lo and behold, they got on the show.
I forget what it was. I read it on the internet that they sent them a tape. I was like, do people still send?
I don't think anybody sends tapes anymore, man.
Probably just send them like a YouTube clip or something.
Yeah,
anyway.
No, they sent a link.
What did you think of this Inner Circle Goes to Vegas 2-parter?
I mean, it was a little too on the nose with the Hangover references.
Yeah.
But I like the performances were good enough, and I thought it was shot well.
When they did you think it was funny? I thought there was some funny stuff.
There's moments that were funny. Yeah.
It was. I think my main thing about it is that it was. They didn't really twist on the stories that. There wasn't a lot of meat to it. I'll put it that way. They didn't really advance any stories within the Inner Circle. It was Hager and Wardlow, giving each other, the look of death and then trying to one-up each other by beating people up. I do like the ongoing joke of MJF and Jericho trying to out-man each other, basically. And at first, it was the dinner debonair thing was meat. And in this case, it was alcohol. And they just end up drinking pure Everclear. And they're both like, this is disgusting. I thought that was pretty funny. I just thought there was going to be like a little bit more meat to it. I don't know. I don't even know what that means necessarily. I just thought there was going to be it was going to be chunkier,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I hear you. And I don't disagree with that. It was more just the same. Sammy, is unsure about MJF, questioning his motives, doesn't like him. He says it in so many words. The whole stuff with Wardlow and Hager is still funny. Instead of just kind of giving each other side eye, they start just beating people up competitively, like almost,
Yeah, I'm just happy we got to see Conan. That was actually
cool.
That was my favorite spot. Is because number one, you got LAX who had history with Conan. By the way, I have to apologize. I did see there was one comment either on Twitter or YouTube when somebody said it bugs them when we still call them LAX. Because they have kind of adopted the name Proud and Powerful, but they usually just call him Santana Ortiz. I will probably always refer to him as LAX.
Oh, I just refer to him as ex-LAX because they can't be LAX anymore.
Right, but I just call him LAX.
And it's funny because it's X-Lax.
Well, that makes it funny, X-Lax.
Yeah.
So Conan Ortiz, I think, or Santana, one of the guys, gets Conan.
Santana, yeah. So let's take it to the next level.
He's like, look, let's take it to the next level. So they hotbox in a limo. They come out all faded. So that was pretty funny. And then we got like a swag, and then they did the hangover later on. They come back and they do sort of a hangover thing. They're on the rooftop. And they're all drunk, and they're, we love you. I love you guys. You're my wolf pack, et cetera, et cetera. Then they wake up and like Sammy.
The bit with Ortiz working out was great.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, that was funny.
That cracked me up.
That was good. And then Sammy had gotten married to 3 people.
The one bit I liked in the roof is MJF was like, I need to get something off my chest. He does the Wolfpack stuff. I feel like we're blood brothers. And Sammy comes out with a knife in his hand. Let's be blood brothers. Let's do it for real. He's about to cut his hand.
My favorite part about the roof was that they inducted Elvis into the Inner Circle.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
And Elvis had some lines of dialogue. Oh, Sammy, don't do that, man. That was pretty funny stuff.
So, hey, Sammy, don't be cruel.
Don't be cruel.
Dropping all sorts of Elvis references.
Elvis references.
Great. So so Sammy wakes up. He's in the fountain in the suite they're in, and he'd written all over MJF's face. And then we see Ortiz working out. That's when Sammy finds out that he got married 3 times, and then they hear some crying. They go into a room, and there's Swoggle in a diaper. Jericho says they've got a problem.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun.
There was some fun stuff.
I thought I thought it was going to be a bit more.
Yeah, but I will say this: at least it didn't overstay its welcome.
That's true too. That's totally true. Yeah.
Which I'd rather have something cut a little short without like a huge payoff than something that didn't have a huge payoff and overstayed its welcome.
You know what it was? You know what I think it is? I thought that the more time that has passed since Dinner Debonair, the more I've really grown to love it. Because it's so off the wall and it was so unexpected, and they actually did such a good job with that. Like every time I see clips of it, I'm like, God damn, this was actually really good, and it was such it was such an out there idea that I sort of thought it was going to be something a bit more out there. Maybe I just had higher expectations because of the dinner, the song thing.
That could be.
All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Hims. Hey, Larson.
Yeah.
There's matter out there that fills every guy with anxiety. Many guys experience it. Heck, almost 40% of men deal with it by the age of 40. But seemingly, no one wants to talk about it.
Oh, I believe you're talking about getting it up.
That's right.
But hey, we're here to tell all the guys out there that Hims has your solution. With Hims, you can get prescription medication that treats your ED. We're talking real science that leads to real ED solutions.
Firm solutions. And Hims makes it easy. They'll connect you with a licensed medical professional online who can prescribe FDA-approved prescription medication to treat ED. If you're approved, your medication is shipped directly to your door. Say goodbye to the awkward conversations, the expensive appointments, the time wasted in line at the pharmacy. Hims makes it all easy and affordable.
So why live with ED when the solution could be so simple? Try Hims today by starting out with a free online visit. Go to forhims.com/GIR5 for your free visit. That's forhims.com/GIR5, forhims.com/GIR5.
Prescription products are subject to medical provider approval and require an online consultation with a medical provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. See website for full details and safety information. Remember, that's forhims.com/GIR5. Anyway, so after the first chunk of that, we had a Mox
promo, which I thought was pretty good. And we find out that Renee is pregnant.
We got baby Mox on the way.
So congratulations to Jonathan and Renee.
The goods.
The goods, yes. So he says, hey, it's been a crazy ride. He says, but finally the world makes sense to me. He said he's been the champ for so long, and he credits his father with it. He tells a story about how one day he got in some trouble. His dad came, picked him up at the police station, and he said, rather than, I think he said smack him across the head or something, he just turned to Mox and said, son, we're the good guys.
We're the good guys.
And he says, well, everybody's tried to lie, cheat, steal the title from me. But he always knew what to do. The whole world is bearing down on him. His body feels like hell. He's got a pregnant wife at home, 2 titles from 2 different continents. What does he do? We're the good guys.
We're the good guys.
So he's going to sign the contract, no hesitation. Let Kenny know that he's best wrestler in the world.
Yep.
After that, we had Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabien. Miro was on commentary. For me, the most impressive part of this match was after the match when Miro sprinted down from commentary, basically jumped over the ropes, and all in the span of about 3 seconds.
That was. I know. That's funny you bring that up because he was at commentary and the match ends, and then I look up and he's already diving over the ropes and gave a really great looking clothesline to Orange Cassidy.
Why is he not doing topes and stuff? Because obviously he's athletic as all get out the way he hopped over those ropes.
Yeah, I liked his fit too. It looked great. He had the Adidas all red
Adidas gear.
He looked great. Yeah.
It was great. This match was all right. Kip was, every time Orange would try to do the hands in pockets bit, Kip would reverse it. Eventually, though, Orange got his hands in his pockets, did his usual stuff, drop kick, suicide dive. Penelope Ford gets in between Orange and Kip. He gives her a high 10. This allows Kip to get the advantage. In the end, though, Orange Cassidy locks in the mousetrap to get the W, and that's when Miro sprints to the ring, basically jumps over all the ropes, destroys Orange Cassidy with a clothesline, and then best friends run out to make the save.
Mm-hmm. After that, we had the contract signing for Winter is Coming, December 2nd, AEW Dynamite.
They couldn't get a more topical, relevant reference as far as Winter and stuff?
Well, it's factually accurate. When does Winter start?
December 21st.
There you go. So Winter is indeed coming as of
I
December
know, but
2nd.
that phrase is so tied to Game of Thrones.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I know. I don't disagree. I was a little underwhelmed with it too when I saw it, but I want to be a Debbie Downer. I was like, all right, cool.
Winter Wonderland.
I get
Winter Wonder Slam.
That's actually not terrible. That sounds like something New Japan would do after what do they call it? Summer
Struggle is what it was.
Summer Struggle.
I think that's what it was.
It's like a Hilton pay-per-view. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, winter. What'd you call it? Winter Wonder Slam.
Winter Wonder Slam.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat that. I'm not even gonna try. That's good. So Kenny Omega, the cleanser, comes out. He's got his sunglasses on. He's looking great. He's in a suit. He's got the cleaner girls out there. He goes under the broomsticks. Comes to the ring, and then they play Mox's music, and then Schiavone's like, "Wait, hold on a second. We got to go backstage." And then backstage, he had some like blood near his nose, but he was completely laid out, and he had some refs and Doc Samson. At that point, when I see Doc Samson, I'm like, oh, he's just going to tell Mox to get out there. It's okay.
I know. Well, Jerry Lynn was there, and he was like, I'm going to go make a phone call. So you knew it was serious when Jerry Lynn is like, we need to call somebody.
Doc's like, it's okay. Just send him out there. We do it all the time. We're AEW. So yeah, Shivani's like, did you have a hand in this, Kenny? And Kenny's like, I don't know about all this. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know about all this stuff, all these mind games. And then he signs the contract. There's like a little awkward moment. And then
because the pen wouldn't write.
Oh, is that what? Okay, so I look down and then I look back up and he's signing again, or I thought was again. I thought he like turned a page and signed another page.
The pen wasn't writing, and I think he had to take like something, like there might have been like some plastic or something over it, like some nice pens. They have the plastic thing on it.
That was like his closing documents. He had to sign it and initial it in a million different places.
No. I mean, I don't believe that Tony's a notary public. When Kenny was talking about this, he says, I'm not one for psychology. Last time it was the elbow. This time it's a bloody nose. He says, you can't avoid me this time, John.
Oh, yeah. John.
So he's like saying, oh, Moxley's out here faking injury to get out of this match. So after Kenny finally signs the contract, he signed it. He did the whole thing. He signed it. He dated it. He printed his name.
It's a real contract.
Like he was there, right? It seemed like a real contract.
It's not like a WWE where they have like Money in the Bank from 2016 contract.
Well, like the WWE contract, they get that fancy binder thing, the leather-bound binder, and they have one single sheet of paper. Like, how many contracts are like 2 paragraphs and that's it? It's all you have to do is open it and just write your name on some phony contract. This actually seemed like a real contract.
Yeah, it actually seemed like
to turn to the last page and sign it there because you have to read it to understand it. Anyways, after that, we had the second Inner Circle Slays Vegas bit. They come back from that. Jericho's on commentary for a little bit, puts over the new, stronger, improved, larger Inner Circle, says he and Hager are having a match against SCU next week. That's Kazarian and Christopher Daniels.
I was kind of surprised about that one because I feel like they had done that and then they completely dropped it for like the Orange Cassidy and then the MJF stuff. And then he's going back to tag with Hager.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. This is another missed opportunity I felt like here. So we had the Blade versus Pac. Eddie Kingston on commentary. I feel like they should have milked this Death Triangle reunion a little bit. Maybe they can't. Maybe Pac's only here for a certain amount of time before going home and quarantining for a couple more weeks and then coming back here and quarantining for a couple more weeks. Well, I don't know what his schedule is.
Milk it in what way? Because, I mean, he had the match. It's set up that the Alliance is back with Penta and Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there could have been some drama there. Like, will the Lucha Brothers
I see what you're saying.
Pac again?
Because they just didn't hesitate. They just went in, stopped the attack from. So
exactly.
Yeah, okay, I feel what you're saying.
Like that's something they could have milked maybe a little bit.
Yeah, even like with Hobbs at the end, they milked it a bit with him holding up the FTW too. They got me with that one. When he held up the FTW title, I was like, man, that's cool. They're actually going to do that. Like have it defended with like the Hosses or like the cool wrestlers or whatever. And then he swerved, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that. I like that. But like even when Penta comes in at the end with the chair, it kind of pauses for a bit, and even before he really starts lunging at Eddie is out of there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So, and like, but I feel like that's like a 2 or 3 week story they could play before Death Triangle gets back together. You
might be onto something with the Pac situation though, because I have no idea if he's gonna like take up, actually live out here for a spell, if he's just going to be out here for 2 months or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So they might want to try to push things along. That's entirely
time
possible.
Might be of the essence. Who's he going to? I mean, is this leading to a Pac Kingston match?
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay. At Winter, can we just call it Winter Wonder Slam from now on?
Yeah, Winter Wonder.
It's only a couple weeks, and we'll just
Winter Wonder Slam. Good. This was an all right match. I kind of felt like there should have been a Pac squash match, but The Blade disagreed.
Yeah, he almost killed him.
He just about dropped Pac on his head. So he's trying to do one of those things where you kind of like suplex someone, front suplex someone on the ropes, but usually they hit the ropes in their midsection, so they're evenly balanced.
They drape on it, yeah.
Yeah. When he did this, I think he was further away from the ropes when he thought he was.
Yeah.
Because he picks up Pac for the suplex and has to take like 2 steps forward to get close to the ropes.
Yeah.
And so when he does it, Pac's like shins hit the rope, and so he just, instead of kind of balancing over the top rope like you normally would when you take it to the midsection, he just falls basically on his head.
You almost chopped me on my bastard head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been bad. And then he had the Butcher and the Bunny getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping Pac from getting the easy W, but he did get the W.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he hit him with a Bunny tries to distract, Butcher comes in, Pac lays him out with like a super kick. Then he goes up, hits a shooting star press into a brutalizer, and Blade taps out. Real quality match. I understand. I saw this all over the place. People saying this should have been like a squash match. You know what, man? It's all right to make the Blade look okay. And commentary was selling us. Some people here notice in chat, who is this? R. Lopez or Ortiz mentioned commentary was putting over that, he hasn't wrestled in 8 months. There's going to be a little period of adjustment there. Yeah. So afterwards, Pac gets on the mic and he's about to call a Kingston out. He starts to, and then the Butcher attacks. So they're attacking him, as we mentioned before. Phoenix comes in, breaks that up. Penta comes down with a chair, and they start throwing up the death triangle.
They're
sign.
back.
So they're back together.
After that, we're backstage. Jade Cargill has wrapped a chair around Brandy's arm. She stomps on it. Kind of in the background, helping her out is Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. And then Swole and Serena Deeb, and there was someone else that made that ran in too. I didn't notice who it was though.
Did you mention Red Velvet?
Oh, Red Velvet. Okay.
It was Red Velvet, yeah.
Okay. They run in to help out Brandy. That makes sense because Brandy's been
mentoring
coming to the ring with her.
Yeah.
So they kind of make the save. So I don't know if we got some sort of Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose, Vicky Guerrero thing happening.
Seemed to be the case. Seemed to be the case.
How long is it going to take before we see Shaq in the ring opposite Cody? Is that happening at Winter Wonder Slam?
I don't know. It's only 2 weeks away. Yeah, they didn't even mention it. They just had Jade tonight, and Cody was dealing with Will Hobbs and Team Taz. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They might play the long game on this one, or they'll just set it up next
Revolution.
week. They might just set it up next week.
They'll probably wait till Revolution. They'll probably think people will pay money to watch Cody wrestle Shaq.
Yeah. Shaq Daddy. After that, we had Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. This is my match of the night,
awesome.
man.
Awesome.
God damn it. Thunder Rosa. These two have such great chemistry. That finishing sequence, I guess I don't know if I really want to call it an issue with it, because I don't really consider it an issue. It was a little different. Usually when the face, which in this, I know Serena Deeb, she's not like a heel or anything, but Britt Baker attacked Thunder Rosa well before the finish of the match. Like, she attacks her with that great neck breaker, a swinging neck breaker.
Yeah,
and then we think that Rosa's going to eat the loss at that point, because I think right after that, Deeb had a power bomb, a really great one too.
Yeah.
She only gets 2 with that, so that's a big, it didn't work kind of moment. And there's a good 5 to 7 minutes left in that match at that point. And it was a really great sequence, but I sort of feel from a fan's perspective, to get the most amount of, I guess, heat, as they call it, on Britt Baker, don't you want her interference to be
cause
more
the loss? I know.
Direct? I know. Yeah.
I know.
That was my only thing about it.
No, I thought that too. And I feel like there wasn't that long ago where another match in AEW had a similar issue where there was interference and the match went on forever afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, I agree. The bit with Britt was really good. Reba's out there causing distraction while Deeb's laid up ringside. It's like, hey, come on, she's hurt. You got to attend to her. And then Britt comes out, lays out Thunder Rosa with a neck breaker. You said Deeb hits powerbomb, gets a 2 count. But then it was a while later before the match ended. It was kind of interesting. It was really good though. I don't mind more of the match because it was great. And
I get that it was a razor thin victory. Hugo Long Heavy here in chat mentions commentary should have mentioned that the match was so close that Rosa would have won if it wasn't for Britt. And I mean, maybe that should just be an obvious point that's being made here. Because, I mean, it was not just a swinging neck breaker. It was, I believe, on the stage.
It was on the stage, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I get that. It's just, I guess there's a certain language of pro wrestling that I'm used to where it makes more sense for that to be more involved with the finish.
Definitely. Well, usually if you want to get heat on somebody for costing somebody a match, they directly cost them the match. Totally.
Yeah.
So Deeb hits her finish for the win. And then Thunder Rosa leaves the ring, and her and Britt start brawling. She throws Britt into the barricade. Some ground and pound, Russ out to break it up. They separate enough to kind of fight a little bit more.
Even the pull apart, man. I mean, they had their little Twitter exchange over the past couple of days, and man, this is a match I totally want to see. I mean, I'm assuming this is going to be the match for Winter Wonder Slam, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would think so.
After that, we had John Silver, who seemingly did something before the cameras were rolling. He's all yelling about Anna Jay, and he's like, Mr. Brody Lee, got you a match next week, a title shot. And she's like, Sheeta, you only beat me last time because you were facing a rookie, and I've grown a lot since then. Now I'm number 99, and I'm a whole different person.
I'm going to reintroduce myself.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to hear Silver say Johnny Hungy. That's pretty much the only thing lacking from this.
He threw up the Dark Order, and she looked like kind of freaked out by the little guy. After that, we had a Darby Allin film school project video. You know what I really appreciated about this? There was a drone shot that didn't look such like a drone shot. It actually looked like he might have had a crane, but it was probably just on a drone. Yeah. And every time, it doesn't matter if it's on a Netflix documentary about somebody getting killed, or if it's in AEW or WWE, whenever somebody does a drone shot, it's that same just really steady, like robotic looking shot where Darby... It is. I know it's robotic. I'm just saying it looks robotic.
Yeah.
And Darby Allin...
it looks robotic because it is robotic.
I understand that, but you can make it not look robotic even if it is.
I know.
And that's what I'm saying Darby Allin did in this.
I think far too often people do drone shots where it's like they move parallel of the ground, very steady, and those always look bogus.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you do it right, when you go vertically perpendicular to the earth, then you can kind of say, oh, look, it's like a crane because it moves a little more, like that, as opposed to, well, it's going like this. We obviously didn't get a helicopter for it, so that's a drone.
Yeah. obviously Darby doesn't have a budget for a full crane, so he probably just
or a
uses
helicopter.
Drone.
So yes, uses a drone
or a helicopter. And it looked great. I mean, look, he's obviously a very talented filmmaker. And these things, I always enjoy these things. But I always lovingly call them Darby Allin film school projects.
They also announced next week. So we Anna Jay versus Sheeta, Pac and Ray Phoenix taking on the Butcher and the Blade. Will Hobbs is in action. And then, of course, Jericho and Hager versus SCU. And then we got our main event. Team Taz, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks taking on Darby Allin and Cody. Again, Cody in the main event bout. They really should have the NWA Women's title main event.
What was more red? Cody's entrance lights or Ricky Starks? Ricky Starks looked like he fell asleep in the tanning bed. We were sitting there watching this, and Lacey will every once in a while poke her head up and say something if something interesting. She looks up and she says, "Why is that man so red?" I'm pretty sure he fell asleep in the tanning bed.
That could be it. That could be it. So early on, Cody is taking it to Cage. Taz, who is on commentary, leaves to go ringside, and then he ends up tripping up Cody. That allows Brian Cage to get the upper hand. And then for some reason, Arn tossed the damn chair in the ring.
Yeah.
Just threw a chair in the ring.
Taz made a Waffle House menu joke, too.
He did. I noticed that.
Okay, so full disclosure, I know I stole that from somebody, but I don't remember if I stole it from Taz.
I don't remember either.
I think I probably stole it from Twitter somewhere, and it made me laugh endlessly.
Yeah. So after the ref tosses Arn, then Brian Cage powerbombs the shit out of Cody Rhodes on the floor.
Oh, my God, I know, yeah.
So Cody's isolated for a bit. He's looking for a tag. Starks pulls Darby off the apron. Cage hits Cody with the German suplex. Eventually, though, Cody hits a couple backdrops on Starks. Darby's in. He goes on a run. until Cage tags himself in, and then Cage ends up German suplexing both Darby and Ricky Starks.
Yeah, I was hoping that'd lead to a little bit of dissension between the two.
Well, Brian Cage was like, he was confused as to how that happened.
It was very impressive.
It was, but here's the thing: is like, so he is in position to German suplex Darby Allin. Darby Allin is like 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Brian Cage is about my height. He's 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah,
maybe 6 foot. He could easily see over Darby Allin to see that Ricky Starks is standing right there.
Yeah, Starks is like same height. Yeah, sure.
So he's Starks is about 6 feet tall. So like, don't be. I don't know. I understand why he was confused, but at the same time, it's like you could see what's happening here. You could see that Darby. You might not be able to see his arms around Ricky Starks, but you could see his arms are in a position where that could be the possibility. So anyway.
Yeah, it was a completely ridiculous pro wrestling thing, but it looked
totally
great.
Was.
It looked
fantastic.
You know what else looked great? The super drill claw.
Jeez Louise. Wow.
I know you're. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna like.
Just
story them out.
Cody slides out, gets in Taz's face.
Super drill claw.
Eats a disaster kick. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So Cody hits Starks with Crossroads. He ducks a kick from Cage. Darby eats that kick, and Cage basically hits like a burning hammer on Cody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It kind of looked like it. Puts Darby in the top rope. They kind of jockey for position a little bit, and then super drill claw to get the win. Oh my God!
I like this here. Who said this? Oh, was it Jorge? I think Jorge said it. Jorge says Cody should have taken the pin instead of Darby. Listen, Jorge, do you know who Cody Rhodes is? He ain't taking no pins.
Cody Rhodes knows who Cody Rhodes is.
Yeah, he does. I thought he wasn't going to use Cody Rhodes for wrestling.
Change plans, I guess.
I like that. I like that shirt of his, though.
He's still dubbing him, or commentary. He's still dubbing him the Ace, even though he lost the Ace belt. The belt that he said was the Ace belt.
No, it don't matter, dude. He's Tana. He's the Tana of AEW. We now know what he wants to be.
He wants to be the Tanahashi of AEW.
Well, that's what Cody thinks he is. Cody ain't eating no pins, no tag match. He doesn't care if he's the champion or not. And yeah, Flats has it right.
Something.
Darby probably volunteered for that drill claw. He probably came up to Cage. They're discussing the match.
That's his idea.
He's probably like, "Hey, Brian, have you ever done a super drill claw? Do you wanna?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
That's exactly what I thought too when they hit it. I was like, if I was a betting man, I'd bet that was Darby's idea.
Yeah. St. Jimmy says, yeah, he still came out last too.
Yep.
Oh man, that's great. He's the ace, man. He's the ace. Like it or not, he's the ace.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the ace. You want to answer some questions?
Yeah. Oh, so Super Joe Claw, and then they attack, and then Will Hobbs comes out.
Turned heel.
He's got the chair, and they all leave, and then he picks up the FTW title. Cody comes next to him, holds up his hand, clocks Cody with it.
Great.
And then Team Taz gets in, and they start hugging Will Hobbs. He is now Team Taz, and that's bad news for Cody or Darby Allin heading into Winter Wonder Slam.
You got that right. I'm happy for NorCal wrestler Will Hobbs.
Absolutely, man.
Getting a huge spotlight there in AEW. It makes me happy. Congratulations to him. I'm going to answer some questions. Stazari with the sub. Thank you. Says, hey, friendos. Thanks for the great content. Too sweet. Hearty handshake.
Thank you very much.
Flat says, any chance we get Hobbs, Cage, Starks versus Cody, Darby, and Shaq?
Oh, yeah. A tag match. That makes much more sense, doesn't it?
Well, Cody and Shaq would be on the same team then. In this scenario. I agree with you. I mean, if they had done Cody and Brandy versus Jade and Shaq, that'd make a ton of sense.
They'd have to be like a 8-man. You put Shaq on Team Taz. And then
I don't know why that makes me laugh.
And then there's the other two. Cody, Darby, and the Natural Nightmares. Shaq wants to be I guess Shaq is a bad guy, huh? I'm a bad guy. I like this. Renee Paquette says, so Bailey tweeted at her, what's cuter, the way the world found out tonight or the way I found out? Renee Young said, 100% the way you found out. I thought I was texting John a pregnancy update. In fact, I was texting Bailey.
That's pretty funny.
That is funny. What a team that is. Oh, man. Let's see here. AEWQ. All right, here we go. We got on the Patreon.
Dan Daniels III. Which current wrestler would you bring into the Dark Order as number 69? Peter Avalon.
Yeah, isn't he doing like a sex gimmick now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There you go. Is he going to start like a OnlyFans? An NSFW OnlyFans?
I don't know.
War Machine MJ asks, whose table would you rather have a holiday dinner at? Brody's or Roman's? So clearly it's
Brody. He'll yell at you, but I don't feel like it ever gets uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's clearly Brody.
It's Brody.
But out of just pure curiosity, I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall of Roman's.
And here's the thing about Brody's. It's going to be catered by Chili's, and they have actually pretty decent chili there.
Dude, when I go to Chili's, I'll be honest with you, I have analysis paralysis. Everything there is just good enough that I'm like, nothing is overwhelmingly good.
Nope.
It's all like just above mediocre.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it's all like, oh man, this all looks pretty good. But I have no idea which one to choose.
That's me every time. That's why we usually just get the chili. The chili there is actually pretty decent.
The chili at Chili's is pretty decent. Do they have a cornbread? I miss Marie Callender's because we used to get their cornbread.
I know.
I love cornbread.
Yeah, cornbread's good. Jorge D, how would you guys book AEW Winter Wonder Slam? What would be the main gimmick match?
Team Taz.
It'd be like a snowball fight.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's good. The Best Friends against Miro, Kip, Penelope Ford, in a snowball fight.
Yeah, there you go.
Snowball's chance in hell fight. Let's see here. Yeah, how about this? You mix a snowball fight with an inferno match.
Interesting.
So it's just a puddle.
And you call it a fire and ice match.
There you go.
Another Game of Thrones reference.
Oh, that's good. I like it. A match of fire and ice.
There you go.
Winter Wonder Slam. At Winter Wonder Slam.
Shade's birthday tweet with Jorge D saying that Heath Miller trained Jade. What's the ceiling for how she does in her debut match? And are you looking forward to it? I am.
Is she going to do like a Scorpion Death Drop? Because he's staying.
I know he's staying. I know. I don't know.
That's funny. That's cool. She'll probably be good. She's tall.
Yeah, she is.
She's tall.
Ed Fries, guys, didn't you say a couple weeks ago no way Hobbs is joining Team Taz when they were looking crap and talking about it?
Yeah, it sounds like something I would have said. But, can't get them all right. I mean, Team Taz is... they have been pretty hapless, but they scored this guy, so maybe they'll turn their fortunes around. They
will turn their fortunes
win tonight with the Super Drill Club.
Brian Cage just pinned the TNT champ, so
doesn't bode well for them at Winter Wonder Slam though. Dog authority figure. Would Shaq be on a losing team though?
I don't know.
Is Shaq going to turn on Team Taz?
Maybe. I don't feel like Cody's doing a job. Even Shaq, man.
No, Cody's not doing any jobs. Let's see. He'll be Will. That's what Will Hobbs is there for, to be Will Jobs.
Dangum Q, Shaq's crew in AEW should be Kenny Smith. You got to have the Jet, Ernie, Chuck.
Yeah.
Agreed. You got to have the inside the NBA crew.
Absolutely. 100%. And then you even drag Chris Webber in there too. Remember they got rid of him. They kicked him to like doing the games for Shaq.
Yep. Biomonkey says, who do you think want Mox's mystery attacker to be? Seth Rollins.
Damn, you beat me to it. Renee Paquette.
There you go.
Dog authority figure. Would you like to see a match or feud between the AEW Women's Champion and the NWA Women's Champion? Or is it best to keep the two separate? Sure, man. It's like Hogan versus Warrior. Do that.
Yeah. Ryan's Rubik's Cube with fans back, depending on if we get Quarantine 2. When do you think we will get Blood and Guts, and who do you see in it now?
God, remember that? Remember Blood and Guts?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're actually going to... They got to bring that back. Or is it just too, like, because that was kind of a joke thing, right?
No, that was their version of War Games, man.
Yeah, I know, but the name Blood and Guts.
Kind of, yeah.
The name.
Yeah,
it
was a rib on Vince.
Yeah.
The whole Blood and Guts wrestling thing.
It was a great name, though. They should still do it.
I imagine they will at some point.
They'll do it.
I don't know who. Philly Flexer is asking, do you have Boston Market in California? They have decent cornbread. I don't know if there's any anymore. There used to be.
Yeah, I thought there used to be, right? Wasn't there one on Sunrise?
Yeah, there was one there.
I thought there was one on
It's
Sunrise.
Carl's Jr. now.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good change. Thomas Dunnigan, do you think we could ever get a heel faction that holds all the titles at one point, including the women's title? I could have seen if FTR did a thing.
What?
That was a weird stunted yawn you just gave me.
Well, I was trying to hold it back.
Yeah, I know. That's the worst.
It looks like an animal baring its teeth.
So funny. Are you threatening me right now?
Oh, good. I made Steve cry.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God damn it. I don't know why that was so funny, but it was.
Rivera 59, thank you for the sub. It's kind of content you get for your Twitch sub or YouTube channel membership or patronage on Patreon.
Oh, I'm just crying.
Goodness gracious. Hip Hop Hippo makes me laugh that Shaq no-sold a WrestleMania match with Big Show. Now he's getting booked into a match with another wrestler on a TV show called Big Show. Oh, man.
Oh, fuck, that hurts. Oh, my sides are hurting right now. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.